Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. I'm featuring the new online exclusives called the Garden Meadow Bundle, and I'll show you the gorgeous meandering meadow papers first. There are 12 double-sided designs, 4 each of each design. So they're all beautiful scenery done with pastels. So let me put that aside. So that's the reverse. Lovely, lovely colours. And this is the stamp set, and it's called the Garden Meadow stamp set with the Garden Meadow dies. This die will cut out the gate. The images have been shrunk, so it's not true to size. There's one for the Wellington boots, for this cluster of flowers, the watering can, the wheelbarrow, the trio of birds, basket of flowers, the fork and the shovel. So the extras are the fence, the arch and the hill profiles. So the dies I'm going to be using today for this project is the gate, the archway and this floral one. We're also going to be using the adhesive backed dragonflies and birds. Now I've chosen these two papers to feature on the card. We're making a trifold card today, and this is it. It's a little bit unusual for a Thanksgiving card to have this sort of colouring, but I wanted to showcase the papers, and that's the card we're going to be making. So there's a mirror technique because it looked a bit unsightly with the back of the gates. You could see that the alcohol markers had bled through, so that's why I did the mirror technique for this. So the other stamp set I'll be using is the autumn leaves stamp set, because I'm going to use the greeting thankful, and you could double that up as a Thanksgiving card. I've left the inside blank, so if you want to make it for another occasion you can. The inks I'm using are Pretty Peacock and Tuxedo Black Mento ink, and to colour the flowers and leaves I've used Pretty Peacock and Highland Heather. I also need Crumb Cake and Basic Black for the gate. You need scraps of basic white to stamp your floral images and the gate. Now this is a trifold card, so in fact this is an extension, so it's been joined onto a basic card, and then I covered up the back to cover up the join with another piece of Pretty Peacock. So the card base is 8 inches by 5 3/4 inches, and you score on the long side at 4 inches. In metric that's 20 centimeters by 14.5 centimeters, and you score at 10 centimeters. And here's the extension. This measures 4.5, scored at 4 inches on the short side by 5 3/4. So in metric that's 11.5 by 14.5, and you score at 10. Then you have 2 pieces of Pretty Peacock, and both these measures 3 7/8 by 5 5/8, and in metric that's 9.5 by 14 centimeters. And that's to go on the front and in the middle. Then the last piece is the same size as your card base when it's folded, and this measures 4 inches by 5 3/4, so that's 10 centimeters by 14.5 centimeters. So first you want to glue the first of the 2 pretty peacock matte layers onto the front of the card, leaving an even border all round. It's only a very thin border, but you want to glue only the perimeter, okay? And that's to keep the cardstock in place while you cut it. So we'll take the big arch die from the Garden Meadow bundle, and you want that equidistant between the 2 sides, and the same top and bottom. Secure it, make sure it doesn't move, and then run it through your die cutting machine. I'll be back. Carefully remove this, cut it because it was cutting through 2 layers, and then peel that open. And you want to reserve this one for your card, and then this you can use for something else. Now you want to glue the second matte layer in the middle. Next, glue on the extension. So apply adhesive, and the best way to do it is to have that up like so at an angle, and make sure it's buttered up. And then you might want to trim that off a little bit, but I'll do that when I've stuck the designer series paper on. Now you see the join here at the back, so now you want to adhere this piece to hide it. Now we want to cut our designer series paper, and we want 4 inches, so I'll turn that upside down. Want it the same size as the card base, and I'm going to cut a bit from the path, so it has to be 5 3/4 inches. Then on this one I want the tree to show, so I'll cut that at 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. There's still plenty there to make another card with a panel or something. I'm going to glue this piece on the outside panel because this is the bit that you're going to see. So glue this piece on the back, making sure all the card base is covered, and that one on the inside. So I'm going to trim a little bit off here on the edge so that it will close better, about a 1/16 of an inch. I want to glue this back into this frame here, so fit it into your card like so, and apply the adhesive to this side. Then shut your card. That will be in the right place. Next I'm going to do the mirror technique for the gate, and I'm just going to get a pencil and mark R on here so I know that's the reverse side of the cardstock, and get my stamp and use the stamp apparatus, pick up the stamp, ink the gate and stamp it on the silicone mat, and that will leave an impression. So so stamp it several times to make sure it's properly inked. Then you can insert the cardstock. You want to drop the cardstock down and not move it, and then stamp. And that's your reverse gate. I'm just going to put R on there so I know that's the side I want to colour and cut. Then you want to clean the silicone mat. You don't want to have ink left on it. Bring in the cardstock again and just stamp an ordinary gate. And while I've got the stamper artist out, I might as well stamp the other images I need. Now I'm going to colour the fence in crumb cake and the hinges of the fence in basic black. So I'll speed this up. Now we'll colour the flowers, the leaves in Pretty Peacock combo and the flower heads in Highland Heather combo. I'm going to leave that till last because that's the mirror image one. So I've put a couple of dimensionals on the back and I'm just going to pop that there. It will stick better if I remove the tape from behind. And I'm going to cut the gate in half, and you see this little notch here. That's exactly where I'm going to cut the gate in half to put a bit of glue on the gate post, just a tiny sliver here, and attach it to the side like so. Do the same on this side. And then pop this on dimensional and glue it around about there. Now I can cut this. This is the reverse mirror image one. So do the same thing and cut up. Then just marry the gates up like so, so that it doesn't show from the other side. It's not showing, I've just checked. And I can bend that back and put a bit of glue there and glue that together. Pop some glue on there and some glue on here, and glue these together. Make sure it's not showing from the other side. Pinch it together. Last finishing touch is to put a swallow up there. Might put one here. I've decided not to put a greeting on this one so I can use it as a birthday card or something. I've got enough Thanksgiving cards for the moment. So voila, that's my Trifold card with the Garden Meadow bundle. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Thanks for joining me, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Happy Thanksgiving!